Hi everyone, I'm Bev DeBono and I'm a Creative Memories Advisor from Madison, New Jersey. I've been an advisor for about over 20 years, and today I wanted to show you my interpretation of sketch number 5 using the Sparks of Magic collection. Now when I first saw the sketch, I thought, wow, that's a lot of squares. How am I ever going to get that onto the paper without measuring for a long time? But when I saw the papers in the pack and I realized that there was a diagonal paper already there, I thought, why not use the grids on the paper pack exactly to cut and make your squares? So I selected the red for the background and also for my squares. I am going to use the blue and the gold dots from the striped pattern, and I'm going to use the black multi-stars and the beige stars to make my squares. And I am working with a 1 3/4 inch square. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hollow out the back of the red so that we're not wasting paper, and we are going to make a 1 inch hollow frame all the way around out of the red. Once we have that, we can now use the inside of that to cut our 1 3/4 squares. And I've already pre-cut my squares and laid them out for us. And I am going to now show you how I am using the grid. So you see on the paper itself, there are grid lines here. And the 1 3/4 squares actually work really well in the grids to make your rows go up and down. So I selected the 5 colors and I just placed them into the grids, with the first one lining up into the grid lines. And you can see as you keep going along, most of them will line up into part of the grid lines, if not all of the grid lines. And I just continued along with the same pattern of colors for my layout. You see that this is going to go right in that, so I have point to point, but also have this grid line here. And I'm just going to continue with my same colors. I have the aqua, red, black, beige star, and the gold. And so I'm going to continue putting the rest of my squares down. I've already pre-taped these with the repositionable tape, and then that way if I need to move them around, it's very easy to do. And you see how once they go into the grid lines, it actually becomes a very pretty pattern, and you don't have to measure so much. And this makes this page, which looks very complicated, very, very fast. Again, on the grid lines. And you see how easily that is coming together. Now this one doesn't have a top grid line, but I'm going to use the bottom grid line. And it still lines it all the way up. And then we'll get to this last row here. And again, just lay it along your grid lines. And it all comes together. So this is your base. And it's something that you can do with any diagonal pattern paper. And the other thing is that you can interpret this sketch going up and down, or you can move your pieces around. Okay, so at the very top, I'm just going to clip off the 2 little tails that are hanging out, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this an 11 by 11 square, and then put that on top of our hollowed out frame. So one side goes to the 1-inch cut line, straight down. Oops. And again, the 1-inch cut line and straight down. And look, you already have a pre-made borders for the next time that you want to do something. And you're going to quick put this on top of your hollowed out red frame. Just like that. And then decorate your page. So that is how I interpreted sketch number 5. And I tried to use the grids on my paper for the grids on my 1 3/4 inch squares. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.